Today, we're gonna recover the whole history of Chuck E. Cheese in Chico, California. So let's get into it. So the first East Avenue location opened up as a showbiz pizza place. They had games and the rocket fire explosion inside of the building. So the show was doing well. A lot of times the first rocket fire explosion exploded in the first place. So they shut down the showbiz pizza place business. So I'm telling you the truth. Thank you, Cheesy Peter, for telling me that this showbiz pizza place shut down. In 1999, the building had an update because it was Fats Pierno's fault. So Chico's first showbiz pizza place shut down. Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater was gonna took over it. So, did you have your birthday party here at Showbiz Pizza Place? You know who owned this business? Bob Brock did. Bob Brock wanted his third Showbiz Pizza Place in Chico, California. So, he built his own rocket fire explosion stage, but he went to a famous restaurant and he kept it on by accident. So it actually exploded. This is from Chico, California. It actually exploded. So the kids got scared and they left Showbiz Pizza Place. It was unknown when the scary music played on the TV because it exploded because the TV was on fire. Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater takes over for Showbiz Pizza Place that exploded. It reopened as a Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater. They opened with a rocker stage. Also, they opened with a salad bar as well. Alright, the Fantasy Forest, which is an arcade forest, right now in Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater in Chico, California. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about the Fantasy Forest. The Fantasy Forest was located in Chico, California. They had millions of arcade games like Chuck E. Cheese Merry-Go-Round. And that's Chuck E. Cheese Merry-Go-Round. And now I'm gonna talk about the lounge room. Who works at the lounge room? You know who? A king. The king named after Elvis. So, the king was named after Elvis. He was a part of the Chuck E. Cheese band. Chuck E. Cheese balcony stage was getting too old. They update the Pizza Time Theater sign into a Chuck E. Cheese pizza sign. In 2019, since the coronavirus was done, Elvis was removed from the stage. So, Elvis got removed from Chuck E. Cheese, but good thing they kept the C stage, Chuck E.'s house. The Pizza Time Theater kids wanted to stay with Chuck E. Cheese, not to go home. They celebrated birthday parties with him. They removed the C stage to a 2 stage. The old Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater got replaced by a new one, since it's now Chuck E. Cheese Pizza with a derby hat. The Chuck E. Cheese Pizza ran out of bankruptcy. They wanted the original Chuck E. Cheese back then. Whoa, the Chuck E. Cheese business was going on and 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 on. Oh, because I have some footage of the 2 stage. Hold the clip, please. In the showroom, the walls were painted purple and blue. So yeah. So Chico, California didn't end very quickly. They added the Avenger Rock Around character instead of the Pizza Time Theater Rock Around character. They had Super Chuck Rock Around character, but it got converted back into animatronic. Mr. Munch, Jasper, and Helen Henny. Helen Henny was a new Chuck E. Cheese animatronic. The screen was a ripoff. I have 3 photos of it. So they kept the Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater animatronic for the 2-stage animatronic. So unknown as the business went on. They decided to copy the Chuck E. Cheese, the refangement of the location. So the Chuck E. Cheese location started their own business in Chico, California. I got 2 photos before the closure ended. They wanted to have better kids and better life. So the Chuck E. Cheese location shut down in 1959. The Fun Zone and Pizza location was the same thing as Chuck E. Cheese. They remodeled the outside too, which it became Fun Zone and Pizza. Credits to Full Text Film. Thanks for reminding me that Bob Brock got old. Give it away to Bob Brock.
Hi, here we are in Fun Zone, formerly known as Chuck E. Cheese. I've noticed that no one's having much fun here in Fun Zone because there's no more Chuck E. Cheese around. The owners of this establishment lost their franchise because they couldn't afford to update to the things that the Chuck E. Cheese franchise wanted to do, which is spend a lot of money, which they didn't have. So now we're left with just the Fun Zone, no fun without Chucky, and a completely different bunch of figures that aren't even animatronic.
There was a cow and a dog, and there was just this big fat lion that replaced with Chucky. Alright, Full Text Film is gonna say something about the frozen pizza.
At least their pizza is better. At least they got their pizza better. It's not cheaper, but at least it's more thick now, and that's all that they could do.
They kept the old arcade games from the 80s from Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater because that's they didn't want Chuck E. Cheese anymore to replace it with Fun Zone and Pizza. Well, if Fun Zone and Pizza did well, they give it an A, but they give it an F because they sold bad pizza there because it shut down. Whoa, they kept the Chuck E. Cheese circus ride, but they had to rip Chucky off because it's not Chuck E. Cheese. Also, the photo ride with Chuck E. Cheese, they removed him with another old vintage seat. What happened to Bob Brock from Fun Zone and Pizza? Whoa! They saved the Fun Zone and Pizza location. So, what happened is Bob Brock died of a shotgun, and they decided to bomb the TV. What happened to Bob Brock? He died from a gunshot. Rest in peace. He'll be found, Bob Brock.
Hi, here we are in Fun Zone, formerly known as Chuck E. Cheese. I've noticed that no one's having much fun here in Fun Zone because there's no more Chuck E. Cheese around. The owners of this establishment lost their franchise because they couldn't afford to update to the things that the Chuck E. Cheese franchise wanted to do, which is spend a lot of money, which they didn't have. So now we're left with just the Fun Zone, no fun without Chucky, and a completely different bunch of figures that aren't even animatronics.
Vortex Films made another video. It's called No More Chuck E. Cheese Aftermath. The animatronics were plastic the whole time. They sold the arcade games too, which is kind of cool. They sold even the bathroom signs and the checkers, and the Chuck E. Cheese room was spent a lot of money, and you can see the disc. So the cardboard cut-ups, the Brocks owned Fun Zone and Pizza, so it was choices to families and friends, and also there's scary music in the dark background. Let's give it away for Vortex Films.
Well,
go.
I'll pay you.
Everything's getting sold. Are these like the robots?
They are the robots. They're for sale.
The robots for sale?
$100 gets it all.
The games are gonna be sold right now. Everything else is here, like even the bathroom signs. This would be really cool to have in your room, I guess. The Chuck E. Cheese monument picture. The disc. I wonder if they have the cardboard cutouts. Let's see. Guess this is gonna be the last of Chuck E. Cheese, or Fun Zone too. It was not even fun. Just the keyboard and the drum set.
Whoa, the TV melted. They still kept the keyboard and the drum set. Flea made a scary noise the inside of the showroom. Wow.
Zone too. It was not even fun. Just the keyboard and the drum set. Hope.
So, the Fun Zone and Pizza closed for good. So, it was sitting here abandoned. It was like so sad. It was like a sad building now. On the other side, the sign melted. And so everything was empty. Well, I couldn't find any photos of the sign melting on the other side of the Fun Zone and Pizza building. Well, I'm gonna talk about after the aftermath of the Chuck E. Cheese. So this Chuck E. Cheese shut down on January 15th, like in 2019. Like, it was not even fun. A Spirit Halloween took over it. After Fun Zone left, Spirit Halloween took over Fun Zone and Pizza, which it was not even good. I have one picture of it shutting it down, their business. Well, Wisely and Rolson purchased the Chuck E. Cheese building, sitting down quietly. they wanted to reopen it with a Taco Bell. Well, they wanted to demolish the whole Chuck E. Cheese building and rebuild it as a Taco Bell. See, look, it says 10 Quest. They rebuilt it as a Taco Bell. So, the Taco Bell in Chico, California has a short history of it. After they rebuilt it, it was a different building as at first. Normally, people went inside this Taco Bell location. Unfortunately, this Taco Bell location didn't end well. Well, what happened is they shut their own business down. The Taco Bell location shut down for good because people had injuries there at that time, so they permanently closed the location. Taco Bell is now a DaVita kidney care for people help law injuries and hospital care. They built that just for you. This Burger King has a short history. So, the Burger King in Chico, California opened in 2020. Since 2019, the coronavirus, it shut down the location. Well, Wisely and Wilson bought the building because people had injuries at Burger King in Chico, California. They started a healthier way to provide others. Chipotle was gonna take in their business. They purchased the building. That's a good question. After that, why'd they purchase the building? Well, of course, the old square circled building was getting demolished, and it was rebuilt as a square building. It now stands in the Chipotle. The Chipotle building is still there today. It's now a Chipotle. It's now healthier. What happened to the Fun Zone and Pizza pictures? Well, I don't know. Well, a collector was interested in the Fun Zone and Pizza pictures. Oh, I need to make a new location for Fun Zone and Pizza. what happened to Bob Brock's grave, he came back to life as a animatronic. Bob Brock is now Freddy Fazbear. Bob Brock saw Fun Zone and Pizza now DeVita Kidney Care. And he said to his grandson, "Hey, you know what? Vortex Film, I think it's time to get into the history of the Chuck E. Cheese in Chico, California." So he did do the video. He explained, he did a really good job explaining the history. Well, I told you the full history. Even he said the parking lot looks so sad because this is a so give it away for Tex Films.
Well, after 14 years, here's the new Chuck E. Cheese, or at least was the Chuck E. Cheese, before the infamous Fun Zone and Pizza. The Chuck E. Cheese's in Chico, California closed for good on January 11, 2011. After that, the building was later replaced by a Fun Zone and Pizza, which was not really fun, it sucked. After Fun Zone and Pizza closed down, it was a Spirit Halloween store for a while. The building was demolished after that. The new building was later made as a medical center called DeVita in 2017. Even the parking lot looks sad.
Well, the Fun Zone and Pizza sign was completely demolished in the demolition process, and look at the building demolished. What happened to the Fun Zone and Pizza costumes? They sold it on Facebook. The fake animatronics. And this got a mascot dragging the journey. Thanks for watching. For my history video of Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza Place in Chico, California. Bye.